Imagine standing in the middle of a desert. Nothing around you. No towers. No hills. No aircraft. Just flat earth stretching to the horizon. Now imagine carving a perfect 1,000-foot hummingbird into the ground, without ever seeing it from above. Pause. How? High above southern Peru, carved into the desert floor, lie shapes so large they only make sense from the sky. Lines that stretch for miles. Perfect geometric forms. Animals drawn with precision. Spiders. Monkeys. Birds. Abstract patterns. This is the mystery of the Nazca Lines. And new discoveries are forcing archaeologists to rethink what we thought we knew. Here's the part that doesn't sit right. Many of these lines are mathematically straight. Across uneven terrain. Over hills. Across valleys. Without deviation. Even today, surveying something that precise without aerial reference would require tools. So how did they do it 2,000 years ago? The Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca culture between 200 BC and 600 CE. They removed the top layer of reddish stones. Beneath that surface is lighter soil. The contrast created visible lines. Simple technique. Massive result. But scale changes everything. Some figures stretch longer than 4 football fields. You cannot see them properly while standing inside them. But here's something rarely mentioned. Not all Nazca lines are animals. Many are geometric. Trapezoids. Spirals. Intersections. Massive straight corridors. And when viewed together, they form networks. Not random drawings. Networks. In recent years, researchers using drones and artificial intelligence identified over 100 new geoglyphs. Some smaller. Some older than previously thought. These weren't visible to the naked eye. They were found using pattern recognition algorithms. Meaning, even we couldn't fully see them until technology helped. Now think about that. We needed AI to see what ancient people created without aircraft. This raises a deeper question. Were these meant to be seen from above? Or were they never meant to be seen at all? One theory suggests astronomical alignments. Some lines appear to point toward solstice sunsets. Others align with star positions. But here's the complication. When tested statistically, many alignments could be coincidence. In a desert with hundreds of lines, some will align with something. So was it astronomy? Or are we projecting meaning onto randomness? Look at the hummingbird. Its wings are perfectly proportioned. The angles are intentional. The curves are controlled. This is not chaotic art. It is disciplined, planned, measured. Archaeologists discovered wooden stakes at some line endpoints. Carbon dated. The theory. Nazca people placed stakes in the ground, ran ropes between them, marked straight paths. Simple geometry. No flight required. And yet, executing that over miles of terrain without deviation remains extraordinary. Now zoom out. Some straight lines run over 30 kilometers. They ignore hills. They slice across the desert as if drawn with a ruler. Why draw something that long? What purpose requires scale beyond human perspective? One dominant explanation. Ritual pathways. Pilgrimage routes. Ceremonial walking lines. Participants may have walked the lines during rituals connected to water and fertility. The Nazca lived in an arid region. Water was survival. Maybe these lines were offerings to sky gods. Or prayers carved into the earth. But here's the tension. Why animals? Why such scale? When researchers mapped the entire Nazca region, they noticed clustering. Certain animal figures group in specific zones. Some trapezoids converged toward mountains. And mountains in Andean belief were sacred. Living beings. Water sources. Suddenly, the lines look less random. More directional. But here's where it gets stranger. Some newly discovered figures are far more complex than the famous ones. One depicts a humanoid figure with exaggerated eyes. Another shows layered designs overlapping older ones. Meaning, this wasn't a single generation project. It was revisited, modified, reinterpreted. Over centuries, different groups added lines. Some erased older ones. Some built on top of them. The desert became a canvas of time, layer upon layer. Each generation inheriting something massive and adding to it. Let's remove mysticism for a moment. Technically, how hard is it to create these? Very. You must maintain proportion without seeing the full shape. You must keep lines straight over uneven ground. You must scale small sketches to enormous dimensions. Even today, scaling without aerial view requires surveying expertise, which implies planning, not improvisation. Some researchers argue you don't need flight. Nearby foothills provide elevated viewpoints. From there, partial figures are visible. Partial, not complete, meaning the creators may never have seen the full design as we do now. Think about that. They created something larger than their own perspective. Why create something you cannot fully see? Because maybe the viewer wasn't human. Not aliens. But gods. Or ancestors. Or sky spirits in Nazca belief. This transforms the lines from art into communication. Here's another overlooked fact. The Nazca Desert preserves these lines because of its climate. Little wind. Minimal rain. Stable ground. This was environmental luck. In most parts of the world, such carvings would vanish in decades. Meaning we are seeing something fragile that survived by accident. Back to modern discoveries. AI scanning revealed smaller, earlier figures. Some predate the large geometric lines. This suggests evolution. Artistic experimentation. Gradual scaling up. It didn't begin gigantic. It became gigantic. Researchers also noticed something fascinating. Certain trapezoids seem to frame space. Almost like stages. Or gathering zones. Large enough to host groups of people. Were rituals performed there? Music? Ceremonies? Processions? The lines might have guided movement. Imagine walking one of those long straight lines at sunrise. Dust under your feet. Mountains glowing in the distance. You are part of something enormous. Even if you cannot see it fully, you feel it. Measured. Intentional. Sacred. So what are the Nazca Lines? Astronomical calendar? Water ritual system? Pilgrimage map? Social cohesion mechanism? Artistic expression scaled beyond necessity? Or something we still haven't conceptualized correctly? Maybe we keep asking the wrong question. Instead of, how did they see this from the sky? Ask, why do we assume seeing from above was required? Modern humans think vertically. Satellites, drones, maps. Ancient humans thought horizontally. Landscape, mountains, sky horizon. Maybe the lines weren't for viewing. Maybe they were for walking. There is no single definitive answer. No hidden aircraft. No lost advanced civilization. But also, no simple explanation that satisfies everyone. That tension is the mystery. Because when you fly over the Nazca Desert today, you see shapes that shouldn't survive. Lines too straight. Figures too large. Intent too deliberate. And you realize something deeply human. Even without modern technology, we have always wanted to leave marks that outlast us. The Nazca Lines don't prove aliens. They don't rewrite global history. But they do prove something powerful. Ancient minds were capable of thinking at a scale we still struggle to comprehend. And maybe that's the real surprise. Not that they made these lines, but that we underestimated them.